Now it's all eyes to the sky as the MAKS International Air Show kicks off outside Moscow. 100 aircraft are taking part in the week-long event, including the latest Russian Sukhoi superjet. Let's catch up now with Daniel Bushell, who's at the show for us. Hello to you, Daniel. I hope you can hear me all right. Now, how's the first day looking so far?
Well, President Putin has arrived, Prime Minister Vladimir Putin has arrived, and basically there was a minute of silence for the fallen pilot who fell over the weekend in training, Su-27 fighter plane, which collided with a fellow fighter plane, Igor Tkachenko. There was a minute of silence for him. His Russian Knights did not perform as a result, but we immediately saw a performance which I've never seen before. I've been covering air shows for many years. There was obviously a big intent to impress the leadership of Russia. They took off together. That's both civilian planes, the Superjet 100, and fighter planes together in formation. They then broke off simulated dogfights, free falls. I've never seen such an intense display of air prowess, if you like. Then it was the turn of the helicopters, for example, the MiL-17, which is widely used by the American forces in Afghanistan, and finally the turn of the aerial acrobatics, for example, the Russian Swifts. And again, they were extremely impressive. They were so close together that everyone thought that they would collide, and yet they managed to stay in perfect shape. And Prime Minister Putin is obviously, they're trying to impress him that they need extra funding, because Russia is, after many years in the doldrums, trying to create a world-class aircraft industry again and compete against the likes of America and Europe. They're out to create a fifth-generation plane. They showed what's known as a fourth-generation plus today. It's called the Sukhoi 35, and it has some of the features of a fifth-generation plane, which so far is only owned by the Americans. It's called the F-22. Putin has now, the air display has finished literally minutes ago, and Prime Minister Putin has now gone on to inspect the stands. There are some 700 exhibitors here, Russian and foreign, trying to sell their wares to the world community, to airlines, to the public, and so on. He will be touring the likes of Boeing and Airbus, inspecting those stands. But the star of the show is, of course, the Superjet 100, Russia's first new passenger plane since the collapse of the Soviet Union. And now we can get some more on the background to this new plane in this report by Nastasha Novikova.
A super jet for the jet set. Even with a price tag of $30 million, there's already a waiting list of several international air companies lining up to order.
The crisis will be sooner or later over, and then you can expect that we'll see strong demand for new aircraft, in particular in that sector where the superjet is established.
Its technical characteristics, fuel economy and quiet engines fully meet the needs of the modern market of regional passenger planes. It's the first passenger plane produced in Russia since the collapse of the Soviet Union, and also Sukhoi's first foray into civil aviation. The star of this year's MAKS Air Show has already been tested in extreme temperatures and extreme situations.
We have already flown for over 500 hours on this plane. It showed excellent results in the toughest conditions. This plane has a so-called joystick or a side control handle, which makes it much easier to fly.
Those who've flown the plane say it doesn't take a Top Gun to fly it. The plane is a joint venture of Russian, Italian, French and German engineers. Next year, the company is planning to produce 20 jets, eventually rising to 70 a year. Its creators hope to take up a 5% share in global civil aviation, leaving other regional passenger planes high and dry. Natalia Novikova, RT, Zhukovsky, in the Moscow region.
Well, Daniel Bushell will, of course, be bringing us more on the 2009 MAKS Air Show throughout the day.